So hello everyone, today we're going to make one about two books in French that I've read lately. One from Hermann Rauschning, which was a man that was a part of I think it was president of the Nazi Party until 1934. And at that date he decided to flee Germany because he could smell, what was coming on in Germany, and he didn't approve Hitler at all. And the second one here is Walter Schellenberg's. So the first one, it says Hitler told me. That's what it means in French. And the second one, Walter Schellenberg, means the contre-espionnage chief of the Nazi is speaking. So it's two books. The first one was written in 1939, the second one 1957. So those I'm going to translate directly from the French. I don't want to do another version here. I don't have the English version of this book as well. They're not available. Usually there's more stuff available in English, but in this case it was the French version that was available. So I took this one, and I believe that those men were German. So probably there's a version of this book in German, and one of the first language that they translated it into was French, because France, suffered a lot under the German oppression and occupation. So I'm going to do my best to translate as best I can. So Rauschning in his book is telling, various quotations from his discussion with Hitler. So in this one here, it says, "You instruct yourself with the Masons and the Catholic. You didn't search very long, very far." And Hitler to answer, "To the contrary. Nothing was more nearest from me. I've particularly learned from the order of the Jesuits, and as far as I remember, Lenin has done the same. Until now, it has never come that there's something more grandiose on the earth than the hierarchical organization of the Catholic Church. I directly transported a good part of this organization into my party, to maintain itself for nearly 2,000 years. That's something." And on page 268, now of course the French version, I don't know in the English version what's page going to be. So Hitler says, regarding, he's reflecting on the Masons. There's a long discussion between Rauschning and Hitler on the Jesuits and on the Masons. And Hitler says, "What's dangerous in those guys, the Masons, is the secret of their sect. And this is what I took from them. They form a sort of ecclesiastical aristocracy. They recognize themselves with signs. The hierarchical organization, the initiation, the rites, the magic effects. These are the things that the Freemasons invented and are dangerous and great. And this is the example that they give me." Also on page 273, he says, "Man is God in becoming. In National Socialism," now National Socialism, Nazi means National Socialism. So in National Socialism is more than a religion. It's the will to create that Superman. So these are very interesting quotes from that book, from a man that personally known, Adolf Hitler. And I think that this man Rauschning, he died in 1994 in the United States, I think. You can search his name on Wikipedia. It's going to come up, as well as Walter Schellenberg. So those guys are a known personage, but those books, which should be read in school, of course, they're hidden and nobody talks about them. So I think it's important, if you have a copy, or if you have if you want to teach the stories of the Second World War to your kids, that you buy these books. They're gonna disappear. These books, those testimony, they're gonna die. Those testimony, they live because they're Protestants in this planet. If the Protestant Church, if the people don't recognize the Catholic Church as being evil and satanic, if they die, those things die. It dies with them, and the past is going to be repeated as it is right now. I mean, I'm searching for a book concerning Joseph Mengele, which was the doctor of the SS that killed, people in Auschwitz, the largest camp in the Second World War where they were killing Jews, was under the auspices of Joseph Mengele, and he was an SS. He was the doctor of the SS, and he's the guy who bought the cyanide gas from A.G. Farben, and the salesman of A.G. Farben, of course, was Karol Wojtyła, and who became John Paul II, right, after the Second World War, according to Bill Cooper's book, Behold a Pale Horse. I think it's on page 90, around there. I think 89 or 91, something like that. And so Walter Schellenberg, he says here, on page 23 of his book, the organization of the SS was constituted by Himmler following the principles of the order of the Jesuits. Their rules of service and spiritual exercise prescribed by Ignatius Loyola constituted a model that Hitler was looking to duplicate. An absolute obedience was the supreme rule. Every order needed to be executed without discussing it. The Reichsführer SS, the title of Himmler as the supreme chief of the SS, was to correspond to the general of the order of the Jesuits, and all his structure was copied from the hierarchical order of the Catholic Church. So, you have two former Nazi or former people involved in the Nazi party, that you have two witnesses that says that the same thing, that Hitler and Himmler were Jesuits, basically Jesuit-Masons, and that they implemented Catholicism in Germany. And it's exactly what happened, really. The real Roman Catholic religion is an occult religion, is spiritualism. It is what they're talking here. It is the general, the spiritual exercise of Loyola, which is demon possession. And today, for example, in Canada, you have universities that are giving credits for following the spiritual exercise of Ignatius Loyola. Can you believe that? Universities that's supposed to have history teachers, that make sure that they understand the past and that they would, denounce whatever stupidity that they would be doing in the university, according to history, for example. Those guys, they should know that the spiritual exercise were practiced in Germany. So to you all Catholics out there, are you proud to be a Catholic today? Look yourself in the mirror. Are you, look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm proud to be a Catholic. Hitler was a great Catholic. The priest when I was a Catholic, the priest in my church, he told me Hitler was a great Catholic. And that's right. Hitler was a great Catholic. He implemented the rules of the Jesuits in his party, in his army, and the real function of the Third Reich was a crusade in Europe. That's what it was. So on that, God bless you. See you next time.